This is how I was almost scammed. One day, my friend calls me. He tells me that there's this person who is looking for an employee. I was like, that's nice. Can you please recommend me to that person? So he gave me the number. And so you call this number. But when you call them, tell them that it's Benjamin who gives you the number. So I get the phone, I call a couple of times, but the person calls me back. My mom is on, picks up the phone call. When my mom picks up, this person calls but doesn't say anything. Like, how can someone call and then there is nothing? I knew that someone was behind the phone call, so I just started talking. I was like, hey, Benjamin had given me this number, told me that you needed an employee, told me I will call you again tomorrow. That's what she replied, and then she hung up. Sunday afternoon, the lady calls me again. She told me, oh, are you in your S4 vacation? I was like, no, I completed my S6 like 2 years back. And she was like, so according to what you have said, we shall be paying you 300,000 Ugandan shillings. I want to know which type of job am I going to be doing and where is it located. She told me, oh, this is an organization, it's a charity organization here in Matuga. You're going to be reporting for us. That's the only role. You'll be catering for accommodation and transport and everything. He told me, yeah, you shall be relocating, and all members stay within the organization. Nobody is allowed to live outside the organization. Can you share your WhatsApp number with me? She was like, that's not necessary, because whatever I need, you're going to tell me here on this phone call. Like, but I'm not the boss. My bosses are going to call you tomorrow on Monday. Today is a Sunday. They are not around. I'm just going to take your information. The next day, again in the afternoon, another lady from that same organization called me. She's like, I'm the boss, but according to me, to what I had, it's the same person who had called you yesterday. You're going to come, and she said that we heard that you're willing to work, so you need to have 3 copies of your national ID, you need to have 2 passport photos, you need to have a number of your name in your national ID, because we're going to open for you a bank account, which we're going to be using to transfer money to you. Make sure that you come with 150,000 for orientation. You don't send this money to Madam Charity. Don't send this money to me. You're going to come with this money. So by Wednesday, I expect you to be here. I was like, I tried to ask her a question. She was like, don't interrupt me when I'm talking. Don't ask me questions before I'm done talking. Where our location is and everything, we shall be directing. We'll be talking to Madam Charity on phone, and she'll be the one to direct you. So I tell my parents, I was like, you must take this opportunity. This is a good opportunity that you cannot miss out on. Now it was a Tuesday. I called my friend up, so I told her the entire story. She's like, girl, are you dumb? Don't you know that that's how people get scammed in Kampala? I was like, girl, come on, you think my friend's friend knows these people, and he's the one who recommended me to these people. Then she was, before you go, call these people, tell them that you have failed to raise the money, and tell them that you want to come tomorrow, that you're going to come, but you don't have the money, and that they're going to deduct the money from your first salary. They will deduct the money from your first salary. I was like, oh, this is a nice idea. Let me try it out. She told me when they say no, don't go there. The charity lady called me. She's like, when are you coming? I was like, the boss had told me to come today. But unfortunately, I have failed to raise the 150,000. She was like, oh, that's so bad, but you really need this job. I was like, yes. She told me, so get other options of getting this money, because I would like you to get this job because you sound like a nice person. I was like, yes, but was suggesting that I come today, I work, when time for paying comes, I want to deduct the money from my salary. She's like, our organization doesn't work like that. We used to use that method back then, but people were refusing to pay, so we no longer use the method. I asked her, but you told me you're going to pay me through the bank. How am I going to refuse to pay you? So, in simple logic, you only have to send me 150,000 and keep the other 150,000 with yourself as the payment for orientation. She told me, no, that won't be possible. Borrow the money. After 1 month, you will be receiving your salary, and then you pay back. the money. I was like, no, I'm not going to take a loan. I'm not going to borrow money. I give up on this job. I'm sorry. You can get someone else. I'm sorry for wasting your time. So I no dear, don't be in a rush. Don't rush yourself. Take your time because the person who was working with us on this job, she's still around. She was on intern, and her time isn't yet done. She's still with us. So take your time. I was like, but your boss told me actually yesterday that they needed a person urgently, that I was supposed to come today, and today was the deadline. She's like, no, I can explain to my bosses. You can borrow money. After 1 month, you will pay. I was like, okay, let me get back to you. So my mom, she tells me how these people had called her to convince her to pay money to go and work. I was like, so I got my mom's phone. I blocked the number on her phone. I blocked the number on my phone with her. And we were watching some news, and guess what? They were talking about how people were scammed using the same technique. There were many young girls and boys locked up in some house. I was like, Allah is great. And guys, tell me in the comments. I would like to hear your story. Don't forget to like, subscribe,